In this video, I will be reviewing Tragedy in a Bottle, which is Penhaligon's The Tragedy of Lord George. This is from the Portraits collection. This was launched in 2016. It is created by the master perfumer Alberto Morelos. This is the most popular and the most long-lasting male fragrance from the house of Penhaligon's, and this does have one of the most attractive looking bottles in my opinion. Penhaligon's portrait line is themed around fictional characters of the English upper class. The Tragedy of Lord George is said to reflect an upper class lord with a refined manner and a fondness for alcohol. If you are something like that, then you might like this fragrance. The description says here for the fragrance on the website and also on this info book. You can see Lord George welcomes with a scent of shaving soap and warming rum, but what secrets hide behind the tradition? So the Lord is welcoming with shaving soap. That is very weird in my opinion. So the Portraits collection is one of the most expensive line from the house of Penhaligon's. So for the presentation, I have this 2 ml official vial from the scent library, and this is available in a 75 ml for $315, which is very high, and the bottle is quite attractive, but the juice inside is not really worth the high price tag. I will tell you why. And this is the EDP concentration. This is the only one which is made in Spain. I have like 9 more in this box, and this is the only one which is made in Spain. Okay, so for the notes on the website, Penhaligon's mentioned 3 notes, and they are: the head note is rum, the heart is tonka bean, and the base is ambroxan. While on Fragrantica it says woody notes, brandy, amber, and tonka bean. On Perfume it says tonka bean, soap, and ambroxan and rum. So all the notes are a bit different. The notes are not quite accurate. It does have lavender and maybe a bit of vanilla. Let's get to the smell, and I will try it and tell you what I can get from this. So I'll spray it on. I have already tried this. I had 2 of these sample sets, so I finished the one set and this is the other set. So I've been trying out these fragrances a lot. So how is the smell? I really do not like the opening of this fragrance. So the opening is a bit different than the mentioned notes. It's like a grassy, woody, mossy green, a bit boozy. It's not as boozy as Bentley, but it does have a little bit of boozy touch. It's kind of a airy hint of whatever. The opening is kind of weird. It's a Fougere Barbershop fragrance. If you guys like barbershop fragrances, then you will love this. It's soapy, but not like a shower soap. It's like a shaving soap, like a cheap shaving soap or foam, like a green shaving cream. This is how I can explain this in the best way possible. It does have a little bit of boozy scent, but it's not rum, because this doesn't smell like Bentley Intense, so it might be brandy, but I am not sure. It's a light boozy scent, not as strong as Bentley Intense. It's kinda oaky with depth, might be brandy. It smells cheap in my opinion. It's like very cheap shaving cream barbershop smell. If you are into that kind of fragrances, then you will like this, but for me, I really hate this fragrance. In the heart, it gets spicy from the tonka bean, makes the boozy accord a bit more smooth, makes this a bit more green, grassy, sweet, still keeping the main theme of the barbershop and the shaving cream. This does have lavender, aromatic, clean with fresh spicy accord, though it is not mentioned in the notes. As this goes to a dry down, in the dry down it has ambroxan, which is in the same group as amber, giving it a cozy, warm, resinous, sweet, vanilla type of a hint. And it is also woody, but the most prominent theme of this fragrance is to be a Fougere fresh spicy barbershop fragrance. All you can imagine is about shaving cream, shaving soap, a green cheap type of shaving cream soap, things like that. So this is what the tragedy of Lord George is all about. The main accords for this fragrance, it is woody, ambery, warm, spicy, vanilla, and sweet. Overall, this is the worst one I have tried from Penhaligon's. This is only for like barbershop lovers. If you like barbershop smell, because personally I hate it, and if you like it, this will be a niche barbershop smell for you. In my opinion, this does not have anything complex or sophisticated at all, though the notes may be of high quality, but to me it smells like a very cheap shaving cream. It does give an impression of a 19th century duke or aristocrat, and also does smell like an upper class barbershop of the 19th century. If that's something you're looking for, then this can be a good fragrance for you. But other than that, it smells an old man fragrance from the 19th century. It might be still modern for some people, but for me it is a waste of money. This is not at all for the young crowd. Maybe someone around 30-40 years old, this would be appropriate. It is a classic old school fragrance. It's like how an old person fragrance would smell. Nothing new or unique for sure. I am very sure you would have smelled something like this before. In my opinion, it is generic, synthetic, and very cheap smelling. It is not worth the high price tag at all. I do not recommend this. Don't buy it. Instead, do yourself a favor. I would suggest you guys to go and pick up the oldest green shaving cream you can find for around $20, and that would be much better than this shit. And for those of you who say this is sophisticated or a niche fragrance, maybe it is for you guys, but in my opinion, this is a trashy, old, outdated fragrance. So you can find many very cheap alternatives for this fragrance. You can look at Noble George, which is very similar, like 60% similar to this, and it is also EDP concentration from the house of Private Zara. You can find it for like $30-40 and you will be happy with it. And I'm still very curious, why would somebody pay so much money for such a shitty fragrance? I would not even buy this fragrance for like $10. This is how much this smells like. It's very cheap in my opinion. I would never buy a fragrance like this. And if some of you guys want a niche fragrance that smells like a barbershop, very high quality with high notes, then this might be for you, but it is not for me at all. If I do a fair rating for this fragrance, so on Fragrantica it is rated 4.16 out of 5. On Perfumo it is rated 8.2 out of 10. I don't know who rates these fragrances so high. If I had to rate this, I would give it like 1 rating. You can see the pros and the cons for this fragrance in the pictures here. And the type, it is spicy, woody, fougere, sweet, creamy, fresh fragrance. The audience, it is totally a masculine fragrance. In my opinion, nothing feminine about this fragrance, and it is for the mature audience, not at all for the young crowd. If you are around 30-40, then you can buy this fragrance. And this is not a unisex fragrance, it is a male fragrance. The seasons for this, it is best for the winter, fall time are the best for this fragrance. It is for the colder seasons, but can also work well in the spring and summertime. The occasions, in my opinion, for me, I would wear this nowhere except going to the barber shop. But if you like the barbershop scents, this might be for you. You guys can see the words for the occasions here. The longevity, it is in fact the most long lasting fragrance from the house of Penhaligon's. I would rate the longevity 9 out of 10. It is long lasting for about 12 hours and even more on the clothes. You can even smell this the next day, but not as strong as the opening. And the performance in the first 8 hours, it is good. After that it gets a little bit toned down. The sillage in 8 out of 10, it is strong, about 5 to 6 feet of radiation. The projection in 8 out of 10, it has good projection for the first 4-5 hours. The price tag, I would rate it 1 out of 10 for the price tag. It is way overpriced. A 75 ml for 235 pounds or $315. It is very pricey. It is crazy why people would pay so much for this shitty fragrance for that price. In my opinion, it is not worth it at all. So in the last, guys, this is a tragedy in a bottle. I do not recommend it. Don't buy it. This was all for the video. Take care. See you in the next video. Bye bye.